Hi, I'm Wilkan and welcome back to another making of video. This time I will tell you about my work on a short dance film in which I was responsible for cinematography and post-production, so I will concentrate mainly on that topics in this video. Authors of this project are dancers Sebastian and Natalia. I know them for a long time, so I knew that this project will have good quality in choreography. My wife was assisting me and recording behind the scenes footage, so thanks to that I can share it with you guys, so let's start. Inspiration for this project was World War II vintage photography. Film is divided in 3 parts, each on different location in Warsaw. I shot this film on Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K with Sigma 18-35 and Sigma 15mm. For some parts of the shots I used Moza Air 2 gimbal for stabilization. For interior scenes I used Forza 60 with softbox, Tryptyk's LED panel and fog machine for atmosphere. We started shooting in Warsaw Old Town with a group choreography. I think it was the hardest to shoot because of lighting changes. Shooting exteriors is always tricky, so even that we started very early, we had to fight with the sun. I liked this location because there was a nice depth there and not that much traffic compared to other places in Old Town. Minus was that I didn't have too much room for movement when I was recording wide shots of group choreography. One more plus was that we could shoot under the arc in the shadow when sun was too harsh. So later, due to those lighting changes, we had to shoot on opposite side of the arc. Shots with the posters was one of the most time consuming because we had to stick them again on every take. But I think the effect was worth it. As you can see, I use strap for my gimbal to get more stability and reduce weight, so I can easily pull focus with my second hand. It was the day with the biggest crew. Except me, there was my wife, 6 dancers and 1 photographer.
Wow! Extra. Wow!
I like motivated camera movements, so I try to do a lot of that, like here for example, where a character is moving forward and I move camera with him.
Hello, hello! Hey! Hey!
All dancers in the project are professionals with years of experience. We worked together in theater a couple of times, so it was great to work with them again. Second part of the film was the duo performed by authors of the project, Natalia and Sebastian. We shot this scene in a very cool location in Warsaw called Black Cat Escape Room. We also had opportunity to be testers for this escape room, and it was a really great experience. This was a very emotional scene, so I decided that handheld will be the best option here because it will add more drama. I used gimbal only for a couple of specific shots in the end. My fog machine is not the best one, so to achieve constant level of haze, we had to wait often, and still I had to make a little corrections in post if it comes to contrast to match shots. If it comes to lighting, there was a practical lamp from top. I put in their plastic bag to diffuse it a little bit. Second light was Forza 60 with softbox. It had different temperature, which added some color contrast. As an accent and to add more depth to the image, I also used LED panel bounced from the wall outside the room. We needed to shoot from different angles because some parts of choreography looks better from different perspectives, so lighting had to be universal. Normally I would probably dim down some lights. I recently got a lot of new gear, so this project was a great opportunity to test it. The final part was shot in Act Theater. It's a nice place with a family vibe. There were two lights, my Forza 60 and top warmer light from theater.
O, proszę bardzo.
It's supposed to be more abstract scene, happened in the mind of the character, so in the last part we used flashlighting effect and I also added some reverse effects in the editing. Half of the shots was with gimbal and half handheld.
Zapytałem, czy mam się ubrać elegancko, czy mam się ubrać w dres?
Ubrać się elegancko, to jest w dresach.
No właśnie o to chodzi, że jeżeli chcę pokazać prawdę na backstage'u, to trochę jest taka, że Marty chodzi w za dużym dresie, w za dużych skarpetkach gruby.
Cookie! Nam 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 nam.
Sniper scene was shot in some old apartment. Plan was to shoot it in daytime and make him a silhouette, but unfortunately we was late due to big traffic in Warsaw, so it was dark when we started. I didn't want to light him from interior too much because it would be flat, so I came up with an idea to make a backlight. I put LED panel on tripod and asked Jakub, one of the dancers, to hold it through window in other room. I also needed to cover it with plastic bag because it was raining. It was the only scene where I used higher ISO with my camera.
Mamy to, udało się, mimo trudnych warunków daliśmy radę.
I shot mostly 6K Blackmagic RAW with 8:1 compression and just a couple of shots in 2.8K for slow motion. Final delivery was in 4K. With a project like this, when there is a lot of takes and angles, I need to keep things clean, so I make bins and add colors to clips to easier recognize what's going on. This is of course final version of timeline. I had 3 separate timelines for each part of the film with much more layers and overall mess. If it comes to colors, I spent much more time on correcting than grading. I needed to match shots when lighting was changing. I also had to hide some things from the shots like graffiti, TV screen, or just blur out some things to make it less noticeable. Grade was inspired by World War II vintage photos, so I chose more muted, colder and desaturated look that will fit to the mood of the project. I'm still learning tools in DaVinci because I was working in Premiere before, so I don't have established workflow yet, but I can show you overall idea what I did here. First note is a basic exposure, contrast and saturation. Second is some minor adjustments with the curves. Then I added main look with skin qualifier on top of that. Next I added touch of glow and finally a little bit of film grain to make it less digital. As you can see, it's nothing too fancy. I had to spend more time on color corrections. I almost never use LUTs because grading is too much fun for me to use them. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful. Thanks to all the people we had opportunity to work with. I already started to edit my next project, which is very short and simple fantasy film, so stay tuned for that, like, subscribe and see you soon.